Have you ever stopped to wonder what goes through a woman's mind when you simply stop chasing after her? The answer might surprise you. She feels a mix of curiosity, insecurity, and even desire. It's as if you flipped a switch that makes her start paying attention to everything you do or don't do. But why does this happen? And more importantly, how can you use this change in behavior to your advantage? Stick with me until the end of this video, because I'm going to show you exactly what's going on in her mind and how this simple shift can turn the game in your favor. Have you noticed that when you stop chasing someone, things seem to change in a kind of magical way? At first, it can give you that sinking feeling like you're losing control. After all, we've always been taught that if you want something, go after it, insist. But check this out. Sometimes less is more. When you take a step back, she feels it. Suddenly, the space you used to fill with texts and likes becomes a void that's hard to ignore. That's when the game starts to change. You know the guy who always sends a good morning message every single day? When he stops, the person on the receiving end starts to wonder, what's going on here? That silence makes her think. Not because you're trying to manipulate her, but because she notices that the attention she used to take for granted has disappeared. This triggers detective mode in her brain. And here's where curiosity kicks in. When something changes, the brain sounds an alarm. Wait, this is important. Now, think about it. If someone who always reaches out to you suddenly stops, how would you feel? A little confused, right? Maybe even frustrated. She feels the same way. The silence becomes that unexpected plot twist in a movie. She starts wondering, did he lose interest? Did he meet someone else? Is he okay? Don't underestimate the power of planting a well-placed doubt. You stop being predictable and become the mystery she can't solve. The goal isn't to disappear just to be the clever one or to play games with her feelings. It's about flipping the script with confidence, showing her you're a secure guy who doesn't need to cling to his phone waiting for a reply. It's almost like magic. When you do less, it feels like more happens. This way, you're not just changing the dynamic. You're showing her that you're the one in control. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. Here's the trick. When you stop being the predictable guy, her focus shifts to you. Before, she knew you were there, easy and available. Now, with your absence, it's like a light bulb goes off in her head. And suddenly, why is he so quiet? Becomes a question she can't get out of her mind. Without doing anything, you're already taking up more space in her thoughts. This is pure psychology, my friend. What's always there, constant, we barely notice. But when something disappears or becomes scarce, its value increases. It's like that limited edition fast food special. You know it won't be around forever, so you crave it more. The same logic applies here. When you stop chasing, you're no longer a given, and that makes her think about you more. Curiosity is the fuel of interest. Have you ever felt that pang when a TV series ends on a huge cliffhanger? That's what you're creating. You change the storyline, step out of the ordinary, and leave her intrigued. Is he busy? Did he lose interest? Did he meet someone? These questions start taking up space in her mind. And guess who's at the center of it all? You. You're becoming the most interesting mystery of her day without even saying a word. And the best part? This isn't some cheap manipulation. It's natural. All you're doing is giving it some time, focusing on yourself, and letting her realize that your attention isn't something handed out for free. If she wants it, she'll have to earn it. And when that happens, her desire to reconnect will come naturally. That's when the connection between you two becomes stronger, more real. In the end, what seemed like just stop talking is actually what makes her start chasing you. Why giving space makes all the difference. You know that phrase, distance makes the heart grow fonder. Sounds like a cheesy line from a movie, but in practice, it's absolutely true. When you stop showing up all the time, something interesting happens. She finally has the space to breathe and feel. Without your constant presence, she starts noticing the impact you have on her life. And believe it or not, it's in your absence that your value truly shines. Who would have thought that pulling back a little could be so effective, right? Think about it. When something's always there, available, we kind of get used to it. Like your home Wi-Fi. You only realize how much you need it when it stops working. The same thing happens with her. When you create this distance, it's not about manipulation, but about giving her a chance to reflect on what you mean to her. It's like an emotional reset. Your absence becomes that comfortable silence that says more than 1,000 desperate text messages. And you know what's even better? Space doesn't just give her time to think. It also helps you show her who's in charge of the dynamic. And I don't mean dominating her, but balancing things out. When you're not always there sending heart emojis, you're sending the message that you're independent, confident, and have your own life. And honestly, maturity is one of the most attractive traits a man can have. While she's there, reflecting on the void you left behind, you can take the opportunity to focus on yourself. Hit the gym, learn something new, or finally watch that series you've been putting off. Because at the end of the day, men with a full life are way more interesting. Creating distance isn't just about attraction, it's about growth. Now let me tell you a secret. Mystery is like a magnet. When you stop being predictable, you activate her radar. She starts wondering, what's going on with him? Why did he suddenly change? These questions begin to echo in her mind. And trust me, when a woman is curious, she won't stop until she figures out what's going on. You become the puzzle she can't solve. The human brain is obsessed with the unknown. That's science, my friend. When something doesn't make sense, we get stuck trying to figure it out. And with her, it's exactly the same. Your absence is like an incomplete puzzle. And guess what? You're the missing piece. Without even realizing it, she's spending emotional energy thinking about you. Can it get more efficient than that? What's even more interesting is that in this search for answers, she starts investing in you. Maybe she'll send a message, like a photo, or even strike up a conversation just to test the waters. The point is, you've stopped being that obvious guy and turned into a challenge. And man, everyone loves a challenge. This puts you in a position of prominence without even having to get off the couch. The secret here isn't being cold or manipulative, but understanding that leaving something to the imagination is far more powerful than laying it all out on the table. Full transparency is nice, but it doesn't create that spark. Mystery is what makes her want to find out more about you. And when that happens, the game is in your control. Human desire thrives on the unknown, so why not use it to your advantage? When you stop being the guy who's always chasing her, you're sending a strong message. My life is amazing, and my attention isn't for just anyone. This isn't just talk, it's what transforms you into someone truly attractive. Because, let's be honest, independence is one hell of an aphrodisiac. When she realizes you're busy with things that matter, like your projects, your career, or even your Sunday soccer game, it puts you on a whole different level. A man who lives for himself, not to please others, is automatically seen as someone of value. Independence isn't just about what you say, but what you do. When you're investing in yourself, whether it's hitting the gym, picking up a new hobby, or advancing in your career, your confidence naturally grows. And confidence is something you just can't fake, right? It's something people sense from a mile away. The cool thing is, this not only makes you more interesting to her, but also to yourself. Because when you're at peace with your life, you don't need to beg for validation. You know who you are and what you deserve. Now, picture a guy who's always available 100% of the time, always chasing. It might seem sweet at first, but it quickly loses its charm. Why? Because predictable is too easy, and easy, well, gets boring. When you show that you have your own priorities, that you're not just there to be her emotional doormat, she starts seeing you differently. You become the guy who's a choice, not an obligation. And guess what? That attitude makes her respect and admire you so much more. Being independent also sets you apart from the crowd. A lot of guys fall into the trap of always being available, but it's the opposite that actually sparks her interest. When you show that you're fine on your own, with or without her, you become so much more attractive. Why? Because everyone wants something that isn't easily won. And trust me, this exclusivity makes her want to fight for the privilege of being in your life. Do you know what the biggest impact of stopping your pursuit is? The emotional contrast you create. Before, she was comfortable knowing you'd send that message, compliment that photo, or ask her out. But then, out of nowhere, you change the pattern. This move takes her off autopilot and puts her brain into full alert mode. What happens next? Insecurity creeps in, and she starts wanting back what she lost. And this contrast isn't just any old thing. It's a powerful psychological trigger. When something that felt guaranteed suddenly becomes uncertain, the brain gets into a "I want this back" mode. It's like losing an object you didn't even use much, but suddenly it feels essential. In her case, your absence is that uncomfortable void that makes her realize how important your presence was. And the best part? This happens without you needing to create drama or force things. This shift in dynamics changes her game too. Before, you were predictable, easy to read. Now, she's trying to figure out what's going on. Maybe she'll send messages to see if you're still interested or start dropping hints to get your attention. The point is, the focus shifts. She starts acting to understand or win back what she had. And who's at the center of all this? You, my friend. Without effort, you've become her priority. The secret to emotional contrast is using it in balance. It's not about playing with her feelings, but letting things flow naturally. When you step out of that predictable pattern and start valuing your time and attention more, she notices. And that's when the connection can evolve into something deeper and more genuine. She stops seeing you as a guaranteed backup and starts seeing you as someone unique, someone worth valuing. Want to know a secret about how the human mind works? We always value what's rare. And yes, this applies to relationships too. When you stop being that guy who's always there, easy to reach, you stop being just another routine for her. You become something unique. Think about it. No one cares about tap water because it's always there. But if someone offers you a rare, expensive drink, you savor every sip. Your controlled absence does that. You become the rare wine everyone wants to taste. And this rarity goes beyond just disappearing. It's about showing that your attention isn't for just anyone. When she realizes you're no longer spending your time and energy as before, the questions start. What's he doing? Why isn't he chasing me anymore? And suddenly, what was once guaranteed becomes something she has to work for. This completely changes her perception of you. Before, you were just another nice guy. Now, you're playing in the league of the unforgettable. Think about the things you truly value. I bet they're experiences or moments that don't happen every day, right? The same applies to you. When you stop being predictable, every moment you spend together becomes more meaningful. It's not manipulation. It's about creating balance. This scarcity makes your presence special, something she wants to hold on to because she knows it won't happen all the time. And here's the most interesting part. When you adopt this behavior, she starts respecting you more. Why? Because men with priorities who value their time are rare. You're not there to be just an option. This creates a contrast that not only increases her desire, but also her admiration. At the end of the day, what's rare always leaves a mark, and you're leaving yours. Stopping your pursuit isn't just about giving space. It's about using that time to transform yourself. While you're away, you can focus on something most guys neglect: growth. It doesn't have to be anything radical. Getting better at the gym, learning a new skill, leveling up in your career, or simply enjoying your hobbies. This kind of evolution ensures that when she notices you again, she'll see something different. You're no longer the same. You've leveled up. And you know what happens when she notices these changes? The game changes. She starts looking at you with fresh eyes. It's not just about physical attraction. It's about the whole package. A more confident man with a stronger sense of purpose who seems to always be moving forward. This gets to her because it sparks a feeling of, how did I not see this before? In that moment, you're not just interesting, you're inspiring. Women are naturally drawn to men who are constantly evolving. When you use this time to grow, the impact goes far beyond just looking different. You're showing that you're someone with purpose, someone who has big things in mind. And that makes her want to be part of your world. She doesn't come back because you begged or insisted, but because ignoring the man you're becoming is impossible. But here's the main point. This transformation isn't for her, it's for you. When growth is genuine, it shines in a way that can't be faked. And that's what really holds her attention. In the end, the true power of stopping your pursuit isn't just about the effect it has on her, but about who you become in the process. A stronger, more confident, and more complete man. Have you ever wondered how some men capture the attention and desire of any woman while others seem invisible? Kate Spring, one of the top experts in the psychology of attraction, knows exactly what triggers female desire. And now, you too can access this secret knowledge with the obsession method. This revolutionary method is the result of years of research and practice, designed to help ordinary men become irresistible, no matter their looks or experience. Kate has already helped thousands of men around the world stand out and win over the women of their dreams. With the obsession method, you'll learn precise techniques that will reprogram the way you communicate and attract without having to become someone you're not. Imagine having the power to access a method created by a true authority in the field, a unique opportunity to master attraction in a natural and effective way. Don't miss the chance to join this select group. By following the techniques in the obsession method, you'll discover a confidence you never imagined and attract women in a way they can't ignore. Click the link below in the comments, access Kate Spring's method, and get ready to transform your love life forever. And if you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and don't forget to check out the next video now playing on your screen.